Are you doing what you want to be doing in the world, even though you may not be getting compensated for doing it? If you're not, in this video, I'm going to talk about why it is vitally important to do that so that you can create the business and lifestyle that you want. Hi there, I'm Mark Phillips, and on this channel, we talk about creating the experiences that you want to have in your business and your life from the inside out. So if you're into that, consider subscribing for more videos like this. This is freaking huge for creators. I think that a lot of times people say, well, I'm going to wait to practice my craft or express my truth or share my gift until I have X number of subscribers or until I have this in place or that in place. That's not how it works. Every single person who has realized their full expression, a full expression of themselves, whether it's a musician, a public speaker, a comedian, a filmmaker, an inventor, any type of creator. We're all creating something, right? And your specific consciousness and your specific way that you're designed and the things that want to come through you, that's what makes the human experience more rich, right? People who created the record player, people who created the CD or digital music, right? All of us little creators out here doing our thing in the world makes the human experience more rich and rewarding. And so the question is, what is your thing? And you already know this at some deep level, I'm sure of it. The little voice inside of you that says, hey, you should do this. This really lights you up. You really enjoy doing this. This makes you feel alive, right? That's your indicator of what you should be doing in the world. Now, I don't think there's just one thing that we should be doing in the world. As multidimensional beings, as creative beings, we have a lot of interests, right? This is where you see former pro basketball players who now are straight up killing it in business, right? Magic Johnson is a great example. Michael Jordan's a great example, right? Those qualities and that mindset, that competitive mindset transfers nicely to business, right? So I'm not saying limit yourself, and especially now in this day and age, maybe it used to be, I don't know, 50 or 100 years ago, people specialized and that's the only thing they did their whole life. But now, with the advent of technology and distribution and the way we're all very connected, we can do a lot of things, but we don't want to do all those things at one time, right? I still think you need to kind of do one thing really well. When that thing starts to work, then branch off and do something else. You know, as if you want to make an impact in the world. If you just want it for your own enjoyment, which is also valid, then you can do that. Do it the other way. Just spend time fragmenting your time like that. But what I really want to share with you in this video is this idea that if you're not doing what you want to be doing at some point in time, like let's say you have a day job, but you want to be a musician. If you're not practicing being that musician as if you have an audience, as if you have that as your career, then you're missing out on an incredible opportunity to create those experiences. Because we create by repetition and making that feel real within our body, right? And if you pretend that you're playing to the audience that you want in the nightclub that you want or in the venue, maybe you want to go big, maybe you're stadium style, maybe you're going to go that big. If you pretend that over and over, that impresses it into your subconscious mind and also gets it into like your body memory, right? And then even though you may have a day job, let's say you work at a grocery store, but in the evening or in the morning, you practice your guitar and pretend like you're playing to those people and pretend like you are negotiating $1 million deals for your music, or pretend like you are signing albums, if you still sell albums, or talking to your fans, stuff like that. Pretending that you already are that person, living in the end, as Neville Goddard said, until you actually arrive at the end. I mean, what happens is it links those points together. But if you never practice that feeling, and if you never practice, let alone your craft, that's a whole other story. But if you never practice that being in that experience, then you don't have anything to move toward, right? I'm a big fan, and I've talked about this in other videos, of planting your flag where you want it to be, even though you may not even see where you've planted it from your now perspective, right? Sometimes I think this is a common challenge for human beings, is we think too small or think too little. Other people have talked about this. I get this from other people. If you think too small or think too little and plant your flag in a place that you can see as opposed to a place that you can't see, way over the horizon, or maybe in another freaking, time, space dimension, if you want to go really crazy, if you plant your flag where you can see it, that's not enough of a stretch, and you may arrive to that location and you may lament that you did not plant your flag where you really wanted it to be. Because I got to tell you, we're spiritual creative beings. The force that flows through us is doing an immense amount of the work. I'm not saying we don't have to do the work. We don't have to show up. We don't have to practice. Please don't get me wrong. But the creative force within us and the universe around us, Emerson said it, once you decide, the universe conspires to make it happen. And so I've learned from other people who said this. Successful people say this. They say, you know what? I didn't think big enough. I didn't go far enough. And that should be a big clue to us. And so plant your flag in the farthest that you can stretch, right? If you want to play stadiums, plant it in stadiums. You want to make multi-million, multi-billion dollar deals, plant the flag in there. And by that, what I mean by that is like this, claim it. That's you're staking your claim to what you want. And then you write it down, right? As if it already happened, or like I've been doing, playing with this idea of parallel dimension or future self. Creation is finished, right? We know this from the Bible. Creation is done. It's all here for us. So anything that we're going to make or anything you're going to create in your life already exists now in some level, in some way. I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole, but if you imagine that you living the life that you want, being the person you want to be, doing the things you want to be doing, and having the things and experiences you want already exists now, that's what I mean by anchoring that point. Then all you need to do is focus on that, being that person, and you will move towards that experience, right? Otherwise, if human beings don't have a goal, and believe me, I've experienced this, if human beings don't have an objective, a port to sail our spiritual and physical ship to, so to speak, we will drift. And there's nothing worse than drifting through life and arriving at the end. I haven't arrived at the end of my life, but I've seen people who have, and I've listened to wise people sharing their stories about what they wish they would have done. There's a great one. It's something about nurses that listened to the dying, and there's Wayne Dyer talked about it, and he shared a little bit about it. But I'll tell you the thing that they regret the most. One of the top regrets was they didn't have the courage to pursue their dreams, right? And I get it. I get that. It's challenging because if you're on a path in life and you may wake up one day and go, you know what, I've drifted to this path. This path isn't where I really want to be. It can be very daunting to say to your friends and family, I'm going to go on a different path, right? They're going to look at you like you are freaking crazy. More and more, I believe we're awakening to the fact that is possible, right? I think as society becomes less rigid and a little more flexible, and technology is helping us do that, and interconnectedness is helping us do that, it's still challenging, don't get me wrong. But anyway, you don't want to arrive at the end of your life regretting something that you didn't do. So that's the indicator right there. Plant that flag, claim your stake your claim, let me rephrase that, where you want it, even if you feel like it's very far. And I know that's challenging. I really, really do. Because as human beings, we get in a limited consciousness and we think, well, how am I going to do it? How will it happen? What will need to occur for me to do it, right? I don't have the skills. I don't have this. I don't have that. Honestly, you can acquire those skills, and you will acquire those skills. This is the divine help that is available to us when we stake our claim, right? This is the universe helping. Like Emerson said, when we choose and make up our mind and decide, the universe will conspire to help us. Because you got to realize, you're not all alone. None of us are all alone. We're connected with the larger consciousness, right? And that consciousness is expanding and wants to expand. If human beings, in our limited form, feeling meek and meager and small and little, limit that consciousness from expanding, it's going to find another being that is like standing up and saying, I'll freaking do it, right? I'll be that that vehicle that plants the flag and stakes the claim. And it takes a very, very courageous person, believe me. Every day is like courage for a person who stakes that claim far away, but they get the rewards. Not only do they get the rewards materially and physically in the world, but they get the rewards internally, joyfully and blissfully and experientially. Like they wake up every day on fire to go do their thing in the world. And it was only because they slayed that demon of doubt every single day in the beginning phases when the whole world was against them, so to speak. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean the resistance, the things and structures that already existed in the world were there, and they're pushing their idea into the world, right? That's no small feat. But why else are we here, right? In order, other than to slay those big demons, I mean internal demons, and put that resistance in its place and make our claim in the world, plant our flag, do our thing, create our thing. So I just want to share that with you. If you're not doing your thing right now, please do it. Even if it's in your closet, in your car, in the morning before you go to work. 5-10 minutes is ideal. If you can get a little more, that's awesome. I look at it as almost like prescribing a prescription for manifesting, right? If we don't consistently take time to embody that and pretend, right? We're pretending to our experience in life, and we're pretending to the life we want and use our imagination. How will it ever come? It won't ever happen. Things don't happen randomly in the universe. Things happen by attention and focus, right? People create things by attention and focus. And which isn't to say that some of that intention and focus it shouldn't be just on feeling better and feeling high vibration and focusing on the things that are going right in your life. I'm working on the Focus and Flow journaling process now, which will be a course at gmarkphillips.com. I'm very excited to share that with you. It's all about bridging that gap, right? It's all about working those 2 points to one another. Finding things in your experience that are super awesome now, noticing them, paying attention to them, and then creating the experiences that you want to have in your life, and it will bridge that gap. I'm very excited to share this with you. So subscribe to my email list at gmarkphillips.com if you want to be notified when that goes out. I'll also be sharing it and doing a big presentation here on YouTube and a big push for that. But that's the thing. Do your thing in the world, even if it's a little bit every day. Practice that. Carve out time, because if you don't do that, how is it ever going to happen? All right, I want to leave you with one more offer to you. I want to share with you, in addition to doing your thing, which is vitally important, right? You're taking action to create the experiences that you want. I want you to check out justbeitbook.com and visit that page. That is my book on being. Before doing, it's always being, right? Be, do, have is the formula. Imagine if you only started doing your work in the world and you never got the consciousness of success, or you never got the consciousness of being that person. It's going to take a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot more arduous for you. If you focus on who you need to be first, and I mean specifically, not just the qualities, characteristics, and attributes, but specifically, you want to be a musician? How does that feel and look for you? You want to be an artist, a sculptor? How does that feel and look for you? You want to be in the digital marketing game? Maybe you want to run a digital marketing firm. How does that feel and look for you on the internal side? Who and what do you need to be? Because when you show up as a person being that, and then you do it, you infuse what you do with a lot more intensity, and it amplifies your actions, right? And it not only amplifies it, but it directs your actions too. Doing without the consciousness of being that person is like a caveman hitting a rock together in ancient times, in like the Mesopoic era, whatever those things are, right? That's caveman style, right? We are not cavemen. We are thinking beings. We're consciousness, right? We develop, and I mean we as in successful people, focus on who they need to be first, and then they do the things. Self-concept is huge, right? Neville Goddard says that if you changed your self-concept, only that, everything would change for you. And the reason that is because everything you do would reflect or be an expression of your new self-concept, and then everything you do would be in alignment with the results that you want, because you're going to align your self-concept with the results you want. Check out justbeitbook.com. I feel it to be in 20 to 25 years of studying personal transformation, personal development. That's the main idea we need to do. If you did one thing, it would be to work on your self-concept, to start thinking about the person you want to be and you need to be in order to attract and create the experiences you want. That's why I share it with you. That's why I wrote the book. That's also why I put together the 2-part children's series, which is free inside that book, right? That's the little series right here. These 2 books right there. And you get them as PDFs free when you buy Just Be It, The Secret to Having What You Want in Life, as well as a bunch of other tools and content to help you put that into practice, because it's all about putting the knowledge into practice, right? You can know that your self-concept is really important and vital to your success in life, but if you do not practice it on a consistent daily basis, it's not going to work, right? We know that. So anyway, check it out. While you're there, download Being is Your Superpower and the Human Beings Manifesto. Those are free documents in PDF form to help you on your journey. So I offer that to you. Go check it out at justbeitbook.com, and also stay tuned for the Focus and Flow journaling process. So go out and do your thing. Practice it right now, even if it's in your home, and do it on a daily basis, even if no one's listening, even if no one's returning value to you, right? In the form of monetary or attention, whatever. You got to practice your thing. We all have to practice our thing as human beings well before we ever get to where we want to be, where we're being compensated for practicing our thing. So I hope this video finds you well. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Comment down below if this video helped you, and be sure to subscribe to more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome day.